Well, hello everyone. This is Pastor Dennis Sanders of First Christian Church in St. Paul. We are meeting now in Roseville, Minnesota. First off, I want to say I'm sorry that this has not been a more regular occurrence. I had hoped actually during the summer I'd do a little bit more video and even a little bit more writing on a regular basis to the congregation and to everyone else, but things have been busy. And obviously, I have a reason that things have been busy. It's been part of an effort to move the congregation as we were moving out of our home place of the last 26 years, moving out, throwing stuff away, and then moving currently to where we are now here at our temporary home at Roseville Lutheran Church in Roseville, Minnesota. And this, if you did not catch an earlier video, is their second sanctuary that was built. Their first sanctuary actually was a basement, and this was built in the late 40s. And so this is where we meet on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. And so things are finally calming down. So I'm hoping that I can do a little bit more of these weekly videos, just kind of to share thoughts and meditations with y'all. Wanted to let you know or talk a little bit more about an email that was sent out earlier this week on Monday. And this was introducing our Sabbath year. So we here at First are going to be starting on a new process or a journey. So starting on September 11th of this year and continuing on to May 2023, we'll be spending some time discerning what God is calling us as a community to do and to be in the world. And this is necessary because we've been through a lot in these past months. Actually, we've been through a lot in these past few years. The pandemic really created a situation where for over a year, we weren't worshiping in person. And when we came back, things weren't the same. People weren't the same. And then we had to go through the process of discerning, do we want to sell the building? We finally did. We've sold the building in May, and then the summer was all the process of getting out of the building and trying to find another place. And we finally found this temporary place at Roseville Lutheran Church. So going through all of that, we need to kind of think, where is God leading us? We went through a lot of things that a lot of other churches would have given up and closed, and that has actually been the case. And I do have to say, I have been amazed about this small gathering of believers that they have been willing to continue to be church. So during this time, we're going to be doing some things that will help us to kind of come together as a community, but also to do some thinking about how God is moving in our community and how God is actually also moving in our own lives. One of the things that we're going to be doing is starting up our second Sunday meal. In the past, that used to be something that we would do when we would have a potluck, and that was on a second Sunday. We had to stop that when in 2020, when the COVID pandemic became bad enough, and so we haven't done it since then. So we're going to be doing it again, but we're not going to be doing it as potluck. Instead, we'll be gathering at a local restaurant every second Sunday. So we will be starting that back up on September 11th, which is the second Sunday. But part of this time of Sabbath is going to be how mindful we are of God acting and moving in our individual lives, in the lives of the church, and in the life of the larger community. So as we are starting this journey, I wanted to actually kind of help you or leave you with a thought of, where is God active in your life? And I've said this before, I'll say it again until people probably get tired of hearing it from me. But I've been actually, there's a memory in my mind from Rob Hamilton, who is our adjunct pastor. He introduced this kind of daily exercise that he does, where he tries to write down where he saw God active in the world. And I still think that this is an exercise we should do. This was something that he was hoping those of us in the congregation would do, and I hope we would do it, because I think it is important to know and to see God active in our world. And sometimes we can go through life and go through the day not really thinking about where God is moving in the world. This is an exercise that I'm still hoping we can do. It's not, there are going to be times that some days that you probably aren't going to feel like you've seen God, and that's okay. Because the whole point of an exercise like this is really about our hearts, that we have an expectant heart to see God in the world. And to be able to pray that God maybe give us those eyes to see, that second sight, to see how God might be moving. So I'm hoping that you will join me and start to do that, to see where God is active. And as I said, maybe pray a prayer that God will give you those eyes to see. And that you will take part in this exercise. And we will be doing this, again, you will see this, how God is moving and all that, a little bit more as we move into this Sabbath year. But I want you to start having that kind of expectant heart of seeing where God is active in the world. So I have two more messages I want to say before I sign off. The first is that there are a lot of people here who aren't always here, who aren't here physically, and who may have received that message in the email. And so I hope that you also will find a way to join us to really to look and to see where God might be moving in your world. And it could be that you are a person that has a former member, or you're someone that is now homebound and you just watch us on our live stream, or maybe you've visited a few times but you didn't come back, but you're still on the mailing list. I hope that you will join us in having that expectant heart. And also know that you are also welcome to join us, whether on the live stream, but also definitely in person when we meet on Sundays at 8 a.m. The second thing is, if you aren't a member of our congregation, or you're looking for a church to join, I hope that you will consider being a part of our community. Now, being on this journey of Sabbath is a little bit interesting, because that means that we're kind of under construction. Things are messy, things are not planned out. I would even say this before we have gone through our whole Sabbath, is that we are not a program church. We are not large enough to be a program church. So if you're looking for someone a church that has, the greatest things available, services, greatest choirs, that's not what you're going to find here. But we would hope that you would join us in the journey, that you would be a part of a gathering of believers that is trying to seek and to do and to be Christ's witness in Roseville and in Minnesota and to the ends of the earth. And so we would hope that you would join us. Come and you can learn more about us by going to our website at fccstpaul.org. And in there you'll also get directions to Roseville Lutheran Church, and that you would join us on a Sunday morning at 11 a.m. We would love to have you. Well, that is it for this, I hope will be a regular schedule of midweek talks. And have a good rest of the week. May God be with you. Godspeed.